G'day guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The markets have been absolutely exploding and Bitcoin has pretty much hit $100,000. Well, where are we going from here? Are we gonna go even higher towards 150, 200K? Or am I expecting a pullback in the short term? And what coins am I looking at that are a good buy right now if you've missed the coins that have already taken off? Well, I'm gonna get all into that in today's video, so make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now.
So guys, before we get started, I want to show you a clip from one of my videos from over 2 weeks ago. So what am I expecting for Bitcoin? Well, I'm expecting for a massive run up in the coming months to around that 100K level. So guys, as you can see, as I said in my video 2 weeks ago, we got that breakout to pretty much 100K exactly as I predicted. No one has called these markets better than myself, and I'm one of the leading crypto traders in the world. The amount of moves I've nailed, I don't think there's any other trader in the world that has nailed the markets as much as I have. But the big question is, where are we going from here? Well, my target was that 100K level, and where did I get that from? Well, a few reasons. Firstly, when we pull a Fibonacci extension, it actually gives us our first Fibonacci level at around that $104,000 mark. And as well as being 100K being a psychological number, it was also the target for our bull flag pattern, which has played out perfectly to the exact level that I predicted. So where are we going from here and how am I playing the market? Well, I think there is a very high chance that we could get a pullback in the short term, and this pullback might last multiple months because we've just had this massive move up and price doesn't go up in a straight line, and it wouldn't surprise me if we do see some sort of consolidation where we could even come back and touch the breakout point before putting that next leg higher. Now, is this guaranteed to happen? No. We could continue pumping upwards towards 100 and 120K, but we have to play the probabilities and think about the risk versus reward. While I do believe there is a very strong chance of seeing a pullback, and it wouldn't be a bad time to take profits in a lot of coins, especially some of these altcoins that have exploded. I personally think the risk of selling right now as we're going into an alt season is way too high. And why do I say this? Well, when we compare Bitcoin to the total 2 chart, which is every cryptocurrency except for Bitcoin, we can actually see that while Bitcoin has put in new highs and broken above this blue line here, our altcoins, when we actually exclude Bitcoin, has not yet hit that all-time high yet, and yet has not had a breakout yet. So if I was in altcoins, I would be looking for altcoins to absolutely rip at the moment. And when do I think alt season is going to start? Well, to answer that question, we have to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, because what I've done is I've actually been able to calculate when I believe the Bitcoin dominance is going to fall. Now, why is this chart so important? Well, when we see these big moves here where Bitcoin dominance falls, this is when money flows from Bitcoin into our altcoins and they massively outperform Bitcoin. Now, if you're like myself and you're an altcoin holder, this is where the big money is made. We get the 10, 20, 50x's in the market cycle. So what have we seen? Well, these yellow lines here, these represent our Bitcoin halvings. And if we actually do some calculation from our halving, we can actually see that 224 days after our halving is when we get a big drop in dominance, typically according to the cycles. And looking at the previous cycle as well, we can see that exactly, if I measure it out, 224 days as well after the Bitcoin halving is when we saw that big drop in Bitcoin dominance. Well, I'm expecting the exact same pattern to play out again. So if we measure from our most recent halving, we can see that 224 days, if I just get this measurement right, we can see that 224 days puts us around the 2nd of December. So this is when we can expect the Bitcoin dominance to really drop, and this is when our altcoins are going to really explode and really start to take off as this dominance goes down and the money flows from Bitcoin into the rest of these altcoins as they outperform. So when we get this big drop, this is when the most money is going to be made in the market cycle, and this is when you want to be in altcoins. Now, I know a lot of coins have already exploded. One of the coins that I actually hold as well, that has been one of my biggest bags, is actually Stellar XLM. Now, this coin has absolutely taken off, doing about a 6.5x from the consolidation range. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if we do get some sort of pullback, but I would expect it to come down to some key levels of support, potentially around here. So if you wanted, you could try doing a swing trade of selling and trying to re-enter back here, and you'd be getting back in it about almost a 22% discount. Now this is actually a move that I'm considering at the moment. But taking a look at that Bitcoin dominance chart, if we're expecting the Bitcoin dominance to fall in the coming weeks, then what we can expect for our altcoins is for them to absolutely skyrocket to the upside. So personally, I think the risk of selling now and trying to buy back in for 20% cheaper, when we're about to go into an alt season where we could see these coins absolutely explode and do a 10-20x. For me, the risk is too high for the reward I'm getting. Now, I do believe that it is more likely that for some of these altcoins that have pumped like Stellar, that we are going to see a pullback down to these levels of support down here. But if I'm wrong and we get that big drop in Bitcoin dominance and the charts just take off, I'm missing out on a 10-20x for a 20% discount. So we got to think about probabilities, and we got to think about the risk versus reward. And even though I do think we could potentially see that pullback, the risk of selling right now compared to the reward we could get is not worth it in my opinion. So what we want to look for is we want to look for coins that haven't yet taken off, that haven't yet had this big move. So what coins am I looking at? Well, one coin I really like is actually Arweave, and I'm going to pull up the chart for that coin. So what can we see for Arweave? Well, we can see Arweave had its consolidation zone in here, where it was pretty much going sideways and accumulating. Well, Arweave was an early mover, so we got a big breakout, and then we actually had a correction back down to retest that level of support, and we're now consolidating above that level. Now that we've flipped that into support, I would expect Arweave to have quite a big move, potentially up to these next support levels here, or even up to the all-time high. So with our measurement tool, you would be looking at a 2.5 to 3.5x at these next key levels of support. And we can see as well when we take a look at our Elliott wave count, we can see that Arweave has only had a wave 1 impulse and a wave 2 correction. So we still have a wave 3, 4, and 5 left to go on this coin. So we're still very early. And unlike a lot of other coins that have already taken off massively, this coin has come down to some key levels of support and is looking like it's about to absolutely rip. Now, what are some price targets I have for the long term of Arweave? Well, to get that, we can actually pull a Fibonacci extension. So taking a look at Arweave, when we pull a Fib extension, it gives us some price targets. So from our current level right now, our first take profit level is the 1.618, which is a 5x from its current price. But if we were to do a full extension, which is what I would be expecting Arweave to do in the long term, you would be looking at potentially a 14 to 16x return, which is absolutely insane. And this is a coin that I would be looking to accumulate right now because its risk versus reward is still very good. as compared to a coin like Stellar, for example. If we go back to a chart of Stellar and we pull a Fibonacci extension from the high to the low, we can actually see that we've already come up to this fib level right here, the 0.78. And from where we are today, if we were to do a full extension and we were to measure that out from current price, you would only be looking about a 4x return. So a lot of people have already missed the big move for a lot of these altcoins, but luckily a lot of altcoins don't all run at once, and coins like Arweave and coins that haven't taken off yet still offer massive returns and are a good buy in my opinion. But guys, that's pretty much all I've got for today. If you would like some one-on-one coaching with me or to purchase my top 10 coins for 2025, the coins that I believe are going to be the most profitable and make you the most money, message me on either Instagram or Twitter. If you would like to sign up for an exchange to start trading, you can use my affiliate link for Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world, and get 20% off all trading fees. But besides that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novogratz say we have bottomed out. Bottomed out. Novogratz is bullish. Bottomed out. Don't ever rise is bearish.
Bearish target, 13 punch.
Novogratz is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.